Welcome back to Easy to Spell, where the name is easy to spell, and we did it wrong anyway. I'm your Dungeon Master, Andrew, and as always, joining me are a fantastic group of adventurers, beginning with, oh wait, I shit, I had something I was going to say. One sec. It goes milk and then cereal. Continue.
I'm Mike, and I play Alder, and I'm very confused right now.
Yeah, I'm Rachel, and I play Wizard, and I am also confused.
I'm Will. I play O'Relton, and you're just trying to piss us off, Andrew.
I'm David.
Oh, I
my
get it
joke
now.
sucked. And I'm playing Kaya.
Wait, will you do me a favor? Just wave at me again real quick? Just give me another. No, one of these. Little, other hand. Ah, okay. Welcome back. I want to see. Look, I'm a Lord of the Rings buff. I've got another Lord of the Rings guy here, and I just wanted to be shown off. That's so fucking cool. I love that.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Welcome back. I don't know. Do we have any announcements? Do we have anything we want to go over? Sorry, we've been playing inconsistently. It has been a hectic summer, I think, for all of us. But it's always good to be here with you guys and you at home watching. No, cutie. Mm-hmm.
We're easily distractible today.
Easy distracted.
That's really what our name should be.
All right.
Yeah, that's a lot of things ED can mean. But welcome back. We are switching back over. We're on the Kai O'Relton campaign, where the group is still in Palin-Grove, seeking passage to Tarren Quel, whether through the Felden-Waeth or by ship from Wastenhell. In the Glass Alchemist Inn, you're all sitting, enjoying drinks and food that have been brought to you by the tavern keeper. The vaulted ceilings of the entirely glass tavern, much like the majority of buildings here in the center district of Palin-Grove. Everything is constructed of glass. The table, the chairs, the walls. Here, the glass has been treated, so while still obviously glass, it is opaque. You'll have, privacy in your own rooms, but that strange, singular feeling that all of the whatever has caused the city to slowly be converted to glass has perfectly preserved the grain of the wood, just everything about it. That's kind of lost track of my adjectives there. This is the tavern that you were directed to by Francis, the town clerk, who said he would look for you if he was able to find work as a troop of bodyguards for an emissary to get into the Felden-Waeth. But other than that, I'm going to leave this to you to decide what to do next.
What time of day is it?
It is late in the evening. That's you're sitting down. The tavern is somewhat bustling, both locals and travelers. There's a bard playing in the corner. Just as the evening kind of really starts to kick into gear. It'd be like 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, how breakable do you think these things are? And I'll tap the table.
It has a feels firm.
O'Relton comes down and just sits down as Alder's saying that, and he's got a new mantle that's sitting over his shoulders and a hood. A mantle that just comes down to maybe mid-delt and mid-chest, and that's basically it, and he sits down. One way to really find out, and he'll drop an elbow into a table real quick.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Oh, didn't think this one through. 26 is not enough. That's you come and drive your elbow into it. There is no give. This solid. Pretty solid.
Well, maybe if you were a bull in a china shop instead of a dragon.
Fuck up a bull any day. So,
So what are we
Bauer,
doing?
any word from what's his face?
Not yet, but I have a feeling I'll probably hear from him soon. Maybe not necessarily for that aspect, but
Got other business in the works?
oh no, no business.
Great. Well, I'm going to leave that cryptic message right where I found it. So I guess we're just waiting, yeah?
So, well, I mean, it I guess it really depends on what we want to do. I might have to deliver on a favor, or I mean, we could always potentially sneak a teleportation circle and find out what happens when we get there. If we want to try to get there sooner, but I feel like we should probably wait for the dignitaries. But that might take a day or two.
Well, this favor, I have two questions. One, is anybody hunting you on this favor? And two,
This particular favor, probably not.
and two, is Orelton going to die again?
Maybe. Well, there are variable circumstances in this. It depends on what you mean by hunt,
Depends on what you
and
mean by
it also
die.
depends on what you mean by die. Dying of laughter,
Oh.
maybe. Dying of shock, maybe.
At this point, Wizard
For
is
the
going to
moment, heart
walk
attack, I
over.
don't know.
At this point, Wizard's going to walk over and jump up onto their chair with their like little feet hanging on the end, with what looks to be a juice box and a napkin full of who knows what that may or may not have come from the floor.
Gods are.
That looks delicious.
Tasty, and it was free.
I wonder why.
Pretty sure there's bins out back of the establishment too if you feeling real hungry.
Watch my stash.
Just takes off.
Oh boy.
It takes you but a moment to find the vast treasure hoard that is a late evening tavern trash bin.
Anything interesting in there other than food?
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. That's nothing. Oh, but I do have bountiful lucks, but that's for an attack roll, so never mind. Ability check. This is an ability check, right?
This is an ability check, yeah.
Okay, I get to reroll. Good, 17.
17.
0.
Okay. Nothing really other than food, but you do find an entire suckling pig that looks like it has like one side that just has like ash on it. It looks like it may have been dropped into the bottom of the fire, burned on one side, and they just threw it out.
I'm gonna start like chopping it up and tossing it into my bag. No regard for health, safety, or
Yeah,
anything.
just yeah, absolutely. It'll take you a few minutes to break down this pig, but
One filthy pocket dimension in there. So Bauer, just out with that already. What kind of business are we talking about?
Well, I may have done a little bit of flirting that I was not expecting to turn the way it did.
So you got somebody's number?
No.
Are we helping you hook up with someone?
No.
So you didn't get a number, you didn't hook up with anybody. What's the fucking problem? I thought I was gonna die of laughter here.
Yeah, at him trying.
Well, so
That's
I was honestly just trying to, get information, get to where we need to go. And he took my persuasiveness as flirting, and I went with it. And yeah, we're supposed to go hang out.
Right.
Sorry, really quick.
Congrats.
I'm just gonna clarify something. David, I'm not gonna make you fuck an NPC if
That's
you
fine.
don't want to.
Oh, that's fine.
Like, I just want to be really clear. The quest does
fucking
not involve
bullshit.
me forcing you to have sex with a character. Like, oh, you want to complete this quest? Buckle
No, I
up,
know.
baby boy.
I know.
Okay. Just want to make sure that in terms of table talk, cards on the table, that is not like a mandatory step.
I would like to have a word with you.
So we need to wait around a couple days then?
Yeah, I feel a little bad, but yeah. So anyway, he was the front desk clerk at the was it the town hall or something along the lines of where they have the teleportation parchments for each place. And I purchased one for here, so if we need to, we can get back here. I was attempting to purchase one elsewhere, but then dignitary reasons, times of war, very high alert and things of such. They're just not giving them out all willy-nilly. So I talked to the front desk clerk. They're going to go through. They're going to try to find someone who is a dignitary that needs some bodyguards. And of course, with our reputation around the town, I'm fairly confident that I don't think they would refuse us. It's just whether or not there are some in town.
Okay. Well, that's good news.
So it sounds like we're gonna be here for a bit.
I don't know. We were hoping for sooner rather than later. At least that's what I told him. But yeah.
So our options are hang around and wait, hope for it, leave now and take forever, or, and I'll just look around to make sure nobody's really looking at us too intently, some variety of crime in a city that can detect your thoughts.
I mean, potentially.
Ding! No. Remember, there is also the option of like chartering transport that would cut down.
Yeah, we could-
significantly from just
We could pay a handsome fee and get taken there. May not be quite as fast as going with a dignitary through a teleportation scroll, but I think it'd be faster than going on our own, and honestly, probably better than the potential other option.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the idea of save a city and then get arrested in said city.
Right.
Alright, yeah. Well, I'm throwing my vote in for wait a day or two and get a bodyguard.
Yeah,
going.
I mean, I don't think a day or two is going to make that much of a difference between, going with a dignitary or potentially chartering, if we can.
Agreed. Well, with
Let's
that,
let's check out some charters tomorrow, maybe, just to see time frame, how long we have to wait, just in case.
sure.
Okay.
With that though, I'm gonna go get the drink, and I'll walk up and ask the barkeep for 3 drinks and a salad.
Okay, we'll call it 2 silver pieces.
Okay.
Bauer, I had a thought. I guess
you
I could
think?
ask Alder. Yeah. I try not to, but sometimes they sneak in.
All right.
What do you think happens to all this glass in this expanding city after this thing leaves? And he like taps himself on the back of his shoulder under his new mantle.
The city of glass after that leaves.
I mean, just kind of pieced 2 and 2 together on that one. Normally, cities of glass don't grow. This is the weird thing that is supposed to be responsible for making weird shit. I'm thinking the 2 are connected.
I mean, okay, so I actually need the reminder myself. Did we found that shard here, or
That's what was up in the forge up on the mountain.
How Fulgrin did.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was
Got-
it. You think it from the forge? It's linked to the city here.
I mean, I don't have any evidence, but weird city made of weird stuff. Shard of creation.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that. I mean, I'm trying not to hear the dice rolling in the background.
Well, sorry, there was a series that was me figuring out how many days it'll take for Francis to find you guys a job.
I'm over here like, don't ask him to look around to see if anybody's listening. Don't ask him to look around. You don't know that this is happening. Stop it. So anyway,
Shard of change. Cutting.
well, that's exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
Every time you said like shard of change, or this thing on my back, or what happens to the city, clink, 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 I'm like, oh my god.
Shut up! Shut up!
X-nay on the
No.
spay.
Honestly, it never really occurred to me anything about that. I honestly wouldn't have even put the 2 and 2 together. I always thought it was just, like this is a city of magic. They're doing it with some sort of magic, which I guess would make sense.
At this
I don't
moment, I think Wizard's gonna come back and tap on the back of Alder's leg, probably like mid-thigh.
Oh, hey there, little friend.
Do you want some? And hand up like a super charred bit of pig skin.
Oh, that looks very tasty, but I'm gonna pass. And I'll just show the salad.
Crunch.
Why would you eat leaves? Those are gross.
Crunch.
Glad to see you're eating cooked food.
So, what else can we get here?
Trying to see above the bar.
Any drink you'd like?
I'm gonna try and climb up onto a table, and Goblin climbing up onto a chair at the bar, trying to wave down the bartender.
I'll pick him up and.
The bartender, who is a tall elven woman with like waist-length raven hair, turns and goes, "Oh, are you lost, little one?"
I'm here for a drink. I am a mighty powerful wizard, so you must serve me.
Of course. And she clearly like looks to you, Alder, and
Gonna nod and.
well, of course then, mighty wizard. Bows. What is your desire?
Your tastiest drink.
Oh. But what would suit your appetites? The tastiest is subjective. What do you like? What do you want?
Something bloody.
Bloody, as in of a beast.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can have the cook prepare. And she turns and just kind of gracefully whisks into the back room. You can see the shadows through this wall where it's down here on the main level. It is almost entirely opaque, but you can kind of catch glimpses of ethereal figures in the background. Approaches and talks. And there's some very confused whisperings and murmurings, but a few moments go by and she comes out very carefully holding just a big pewter goblet. And she says, "You're in luck. This was free of charge, by the way. We wouldn't normally sell this kind of thing, but to a wizard of your stature, only the best." And it is
Such fine service.
and all that you can see is clearly congealed, partially congealed pigs and beef blood that have been scooped off of a counter.
Wizard's gonna take a piece of grass straw, bamboo type straw, out of their bag, and then stick it in the goblet and start drinking.
The elf clearly pales a little bit, but reaches behind the bar and pulls out and opens a tiny umbrella and then drops it into your drink before turning to help other patrons.
And Gobby's gonna just lose their mind over this umbrella and just start kind of sipping their drink and sloshing blood and dancing around with a mini umbrella.
I'm gonna just leave 2 silver on the counter for their trouble.
Nods, and then every now and then, as you guys watch Gabi dancing at the bar, wizard dancing at the bar, the bartender will kind of reach over and just prestidigitate away the sloshed blood.
Well, Zara, should we head back over to the table?
Okay, I could show them my umbrella.
Very special.
I'm gonna stick it in my little floof of hair.
Perfect.
And I'll bring the other 2 drinks and set them down for Kai and Aron.
Okay.
Toss back about half of it before asking what it is.
I have no idea.
Good enough for
Yes.
me.
Mead, a very high quality mead.
So, anything else we need to take care of before we pass out for the evening? I'll check on charters tomorrow, and otherwise we're waiting a couple days for a job to find us.
Yeah, I don't think we have much else to do, at least on the list for the moment. Yeah, not that I can think of.
Well, I could take a couple of down days. Dying kind of wipes you.
Yeah, I understand that. I could use another day or 2 of shut eye myself. They fucking start getting into a jig.
Just dancing.
Apparently, I'm still fucking tired. I'm looking over it. No, Relton.
And with that, I'm at the hay.
Okay.
Relton, when he goes up to his room, takes a sewing kit and a pair of gloves that he has and starts sewing settings into each of the knuckles on the gloves. Just
Okay.
making himself a improvised weapon.
Okay. And we already talked about this. I know what you're working on.
Yeah.
Okay. At any point, stop me if there are specific things you'd like to do. Sorry, continue, Mike. What's up?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Alder, when he gets up to his room, I'm assuming we all got our own rooms. He's gonna lay his pack out a little bit, and he's gonna cast Revivify into his ring that he bought.
Okay.
Does that use the diamond now, or will it use it? later?
Yes, it
Okay.
uses the material component now.
Okay, just want to mark that off.
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
And then he's going to put the fruit from his bag off to the side next to him. And he's just going to cast Produce Flame in his hand and hold it near it and see if it affects it in any way.
The flame curls into your fingers, and you can feel the warmth on your hand, though you are protected by the magic. And as it draws close to the fruit, yes, there's an iridescent shimmer on the skin that passes over this kind of greenish tinge, almost as if you're seeing not the fruit itself, but an aura surrounding it. But otherwise, the heat from the fire doesn't seem to have any effect. And you get closer and closer until you're actually holding the fruit with the hand that is producing the flame, and there is no response. Taking it into your other hand, the fruit still feels cold to the touch.
And the flame looks just like its normal self. Nothing changes with that. Okay.
Nothing changes in the flame.
Okay. And then I will go to sleep.
Okay. Is anybody else doing anything specifically?
Other than Kaya's going to stay up for just a little bit down at the bar. Not really doing too much. And then after a bit, we'll head up to his room and is going to write a bit in his new journal.
Okay. Anything from Wizard?
Wizard is going to make a fort in their room
Okay.
with the mattress, just kind of, I'm assuming it's like a straw mattress. And they're going to tear it apart and turn it into like a little nest
Okay.
thing in the corner.
So everybody knows it. Gold. It will be 1 gold a day for every day that you choose to stay here. And so just keep an eye as time goes by. And we'll kind of fast through it, where it is essentially downtime. We'll mark off each day and kind of key events that happen, but we won't spend a bunch of time on just waiting.
And I don't know if we need to RP it or not, but I would like to at some point in our downtime just suggest to the group that if we are if it takes a long time to find this job, maybe we can head up to, what is it, Albright or wherever Alder's from, and see if we can't fix that issue if we have the time to.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to head back and see how everybody's doing, but it's kind of in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a day trip or something like that, but if they tell us it's going to be a month before we can, get a job or head out, best not waste time. Either that or, start chartering that ship, but just throwing it out there as an option.
I appreciate that.
Well, the first day when you are waiting for Francis to get back to you, but you go and discuss with at the shipyard with different captains. You can charter an airship. The next one that is leaving on a planned occurrence to Wastenhell would be 1 week away, and it would be a total of 75 gold. Or you can charter a private ship that would leave whenever you wanted. They would not be able to cross into the Felden-Waeth, so Wastenhall would be the nearest city, but you could charter them to drop you off at a specific place in Ostermere. That would be 300 gold, but they could leave whenever you wanted. That would charter the ship. It would get you to a location, and they would drop you off. And that's all information you can find the first day.
And you said the not private one was a week away from now?
Yeah, it'd take 7 days before they left, and then it's about 6 days journey to Waste and Hell.
And that's still outside the Felden-Waeth, right?
Yeah, that is still outside the Felden-Waeth. Waste and Hell is the closest Ostromnir city you could get to. You'd be looking, so with that, you'd be about 2 weeks out before getting to Waste and Hell, and you'd still have to get the way to Tarren Quel.
And remind me, the bodyguard job would take us all the way to Wraith and Care, or that one also goes to Waste and Hell?
That would be to Wraith and Care. Because that is an emissary, like, working trip into the Felden-Waeth.
And then, if I had to know, and I imagine I would by finding a map or something, how long would it take us on foot to get from Pallengrove to Albright?
Pallengrove to Albright. Let me pull up my map.
If it's to scale, I'm guessing like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, because it took you about a week and a half to Korth, so it'd take 4 or 5 days to get to Albright, and then probably another 2 or 3 days north into the woods to get to where Alder's from.
Okay.
I will mention that if we wanted to, I could make it basically instantaneous. We can
Just there or there and back?
I mean, we'd have to stay a day, but I could take us there and back. Just step into a tree, you know? Normal things.
Nope, don't know. But I'll trust you on it. I guess... I don't know, what does everybody else think?
I've been in trees before, but they've never taken me anywhere.
Well, so you guys have all the information really quick. We'll actually skip to we'll say you're having this discussion the next night. Francis is actually, while you were out and about looking at church ships, left a letter for you that says that there is a job opportunity. You could go. It would be in a month that they could teleport you into Wraith and Care. And then there is always the option of purchasing your own airship, which would not be limited to remaining within Ostromnir. And that would run, again, depending on the size and speed of the vessel you wanted and the crew, between 10 and 20,000 gold. But that gets you an airship, and that is the fastest, if most expensive option.
Sure. Throw money at it.
I don't have much gold, but I have all of this.
I'm gonna hold up all of my platinum, which is tons and tons of platinum. Because I don't know the difference between amounts of money.
Where did you get that?
Where did I get it?
It's probably from our jobs, because I think we got like
Oh yeah.
1,000 platinum.
You guys have gotten a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But
so
also, who knows? The Goblin Horde may have been substantial.
I was gonna say I got a bit of money, but I don't know if I got that.
I definitely do not have 10 to 20,000 worth, but honestly, that sounds better than taking the job.
I mean, I can throw some at it.
I could throw a chunk at it. Zara, you want to let me... Well, don't let me. Maybe let Alder count that real quick.
I'm just gonna kind of like pour it
One,
onto the table in the middle of the bar.
3, 4.
There are a number of eyes that turn and kind of look. But knowing who you are, and again, I've taught you have a reputation in this town. Nobody jumps at you to start trying to steal money. There are eyes on you after this.
Oh, look. I've got a bit I can throw at it. guess it just depends on how much Zar's willing to throw in. I mean,
How much platinum did you dump on the table, Rachel?
1,000.
And platinum?
how
I have
That's what we
1,000
got.
platinum.
We got like a shitload of platinum for
Yeah,
that.
you guys
job.
got a ton of money.
Well, I remember
didn't-
that, but I'm surprised that they've still got it.
I haven't
Actually,
spent
I'm
I'm not
any of
surprised
it.
at all. Yeah.
I haven't spent
Doesn't
that
know
much
what to do
either,
with
but
it.
like, I must not have added it. I don't know.
I spent a ton, so
Well, you know the rules of magic in the world is if you don't write down how much gold you have, it
You
gets
don't
taken
have it.
into the ether by the
That's it.
gold gene.
I mean, I've got a shit ton of gold. I don't have that much platinum.
everybody can throw a quarter of it at it.
I think I may have originally taken the goals that we had in my brain, transferred it to platinum. So
No, because
Maybe that's it.
I have 710 platinum myself.
Yeah, I've got 10,000 gold.
Yeah, that's 1,000 platinum.
Yeah.
Why are we not just
Yeah.
buying an airship? Let's go now.
I mean, if we all throw like, I don't know, do we have 5K each?
I have about that.
That's your max. I can cover your portion, I guess.
I can do mine.
Yeah, I can.
Is everybody in for that?
Oh, yeah.
take whatever.
You're all going 20,000. So you're going 20,000 total gold on
I
an
don't
airship.
want a fancy shit. We're not going off.
Well,
shit.
let's. I'm a pitch. We get a small and quick one. A, it's cheaper. B, it's easier to crew. C, it's less likely to be spotted. I think it's just better for 4 people. Small, quick, and hard to spot.
Well, look at all the features we'd be getting with this one.
How often are we going to
You
use it
n-
though?
You
It
need
has
4
Wi-Fi.
harpoons.
What is Wi-Fi?
I don't know what it
Long-distance
is, but
communication magic.
you scan this thing called a QR code and it connects to something. I don't know what. I don't even know how you scan it.
And I've got to
Well-
say, this guy is right on the money with this bad boy. Knocked on the side. It's got built-in communication stones. Anybody with a matching set, which of course is provided with the ship, is able to freely communicate with anybody in the communication block of the building. It is crewed with a maximum of 100 people. Never have to hire a crew more than 100 to really get this thing up into top condition.
A crew of
Oh.
100 people.
Paying for a crew of 100 might be a bit much.
Well, I mean, you went with the fully loaded galley. This has 3 fully functioning kitchens. It has a gym on the second deck.
Yeah,
I feel like we
Bauer,
would
I
have
don't
to
think we need the
Harder
sauna.
this.
The toilets are made of gold. You're pretty much making your money back with that.
Have you seen the brewery in the fucking thing?
I don't want to have to sell the shitter to get our money back on this.
If that's all we have to sell, it's worth it. Just
Your
get off
friend
the
has
edge of
a
the ship
keen
and fine.
eye.
Listen, if we buy this one, you're paying for the crew.
All right, fine. What's the mid-range package? The family sedan, as you would say.
Well, you know what? I'll let you guys look around on that side. Hey, man, Mr. and Mrs., are you looking to buy? And he just immediately, like, as soon as you're not interested in buying, like, the flagship.
Top tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much are you willing to spend? Because getting a fast ship that can be minimally crewed, there. You know what? I'm actually just going to do this. There is a half-elven man who approaches. He goes, I am deeply sorry about him. He goes after the big commissions. I don't think he's going to be around. I think we have something that will suit you. Follow me. And he turns and leads you kind of down the rows into the shipyard to a small vessel. It looks to be a little bit bigger than a sloop. It would have a functioning cavern, like a functioning cabin. It has the navigation room. There's a few features to this one that make it quite special compared to the others. One, the automatic updating map system. As you travel, it gathers local geographical data and builds maps so you are aware of your location. Within limits, there are magical arrays that can interfere that are often used around cities that you can just fly by and map out an entire area. Basic precautions. There is one other feature that I think you'll find intriguing. I heard your discussions about the crew and how you may not have one staffed already. He places his hand on a large crystal, closes his eyes for a moment, and there's a sound as the ship kind of hums to life. Greetings. I am your onboard AV unit. How may I assist you?
You got any sandwiches?
Unfortunately, within my capabilities, sandwiches lay without. There is a galley you can help yourself to. I can assist with navigation, communication, and general ship control.
I'll leave that up to you guys.
And I'm gonna climb in and see if I can find the kitchen.
I don't know, the
mean-
default voice setting on this sounds, little onboard.
Familiar?
Yeah, familiar. Look, it does have settings, so if you wanted to switch it, it doesn't have to be my voice. I just recorded the general. It was trained against my voice, but it does have other settings.
But nav, communications, and control, the ship can handle.
Simple controls, yeah. It is useless in a fight.
Sure, but get from A to B, it can handle. If we got to do barrel rolls, that's on us.
Pretty much, exactly.
I just look at Alder and Bauer.
And what's something like this run?
This one runs 16,000 gold.
I mean, but we don't have to have a crew. And it,
Let's have the automated vehicle integration. I've been calling it Abby.
I mean,
um,
it's not cheap, but it might be our best bet.
I mean, I'm good with it.
I throw 4,000 gold on the table.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'll just take all of Wizard's money and separate it into the 4,000, and then do mine as well.
I'm gonna be here for a minute. Mine's not in platinum. I'm sorry. I should have traded the shit in.
Well, go through. You guys are able to pay for and sign for the ship. You have it. As he walks in, he goes, "Ship default voice settings." Of course.
This sounds pretty familiar.
Look, I had to change it a fucking little bit because I went in specifically with this guy knowing I was going to do this. I didn't give him an accent and then accidentally gave him like the same
second
English accent.
Thank you for DMing.
I can't wait till one of you fuckers does this.
Guess I didn't think about where we're going to park this, but that's future us's problem.
That's what the robot's for, right?
I don't think it
I
comes up
mean-
with a parking spot, but hopefully it can park.
At that moment, Gabi's gonna pop out with a bucket on their head and a mop in their hand and be like,
Behold my new armor!
Oh, good, we got a
Right,
janitor.
editors are.
All right.
Anything we need to do before we take off?
There's one thing that I have to take care of. Gotta go to town hall.
I'll get supplies while you go.
I'll take a nap. And I throw my bag in the corner of a cabin and start throwing up a hammock or something.
Great. Yeah, as the three of you begin to settle into your new airship, Kai, you make your way to City Hall, and entering a familiar face, looks up and goes, "Oh, Kai, welcome back. You must have got my letter. You know that the job wouldn't be available for some time."
Right, King. I got your letter, and I really appreciate it.
You found another option, I'm assuming.
Well, perhaps we should talk in a little more private.
He kind of looks around. Sure, we're skeleton crew today. You can join me in the break room. There shouldn't be anybody there. I puts up a little, returning in 5 minutes sign on his desk, before leading you into just one of the side rooms.
There's the one on the front of the 5.
Leads you into the break room. Right, I'm assuming that you're leaving then.
Look, I really didn't know how to tell you this. We found a faster way to get there. And we're looking at leaving soon.
It's entirely fine. The job was, I knew you were on a time limit. You made it very clear, preferably within under a week. I'm not offended by this.
Well, come on now, King. I just wanted to make sure that, you're in the right headspace.
He kind of reaches out, puts his hand on your arm, and goes, "I'm glad you came to say goodbye. But I'm fine. I appreciate the attentions you've lauded upon me, even if I think, as we both know, they began out of a need for something."
Well, you're not wrong.
It doesn't make you any less cute.
I appreciate that. I guess that makes things easy. I don't have to lie to you. And because I had this whole thing about potentially being like a Prince of Nalberand and the long lost heir, and like needing to get out of here as quick as possible. Because they're all princesses. There's no Prince of Nalberand. There used to be at one point in time, but anyway, I was going to come up with a big old elaborate story, and now that we're here,
You are
I'm just
strangely
rambling
versed
this
in the
very-
politics of Nalberand.
No. I like to read. Anyway, all right, bye.
Goodbye. You make your way back to the ship. You guys have time. We've discussed some items previously, so anything that you were had on your shopping list, we have the price rules. What is? I see you raising your pencil. What's up? You're muted.
You're on mute.
Hey, I was just gonna say I'm just gonna buy like food and things like that, just standard supplies to survive on. And then
Rations.
before I come back, I'm gonna actually step outside the city. And we mentioned before that like there's trees and like that seem definitely affected by the city.
Yeah, within the center there are some trees that have also been turned to glass. But once you get outside of that central district, nothing else is glass. The trees that surround Palin Grove are like the white quaking aspens, which is why it was originally named that. The glass came later.
Okay. Essentially, because I know that like nothing attacked the city and it seemed like this aura or whatever. I just want to get to the point where it feels like that's not the case, and go to a fairly large tree and just familiarize myself with it.
Okay.
and then I will come back.
Do a little tree hugging.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
as a potential quick return.
There's a joke there about Alder going and familiarizing himself with trees. I've done enough flirting with David tonight that
Ooh, what nice bark you have there.
Let's not get sappy.
okay.
I want you to never mind.
No,
Is there-
Nope.
Anything else you guys want to do before embarking on your ship?
I really want teleportation scrolls, but not that bad.
David, you'd probably be, or no, Alder, you'd be the last one. As you approach at the end of the harbor, sitting on the dock where this is like tied off, kind of floating 10 feet off the ground. But right in front of the boarding ramp to your ship, there is a bottle with a little note tied to it. Just sitting there.
I will read the note.
It just says it is common practice to christen your vessel before its maiden voyage. And then from the staff of the Palin Grove Harbor.
I'll just yell up, Czar, can you come help me with something?
Okay. I'm gonna run down.
I need you to smash this bottle against our ship. But hold on.
Whoa. I'll call down from the side. Don't we usually name these things before we go smashing alcohol on the side of it?
I don't know how this works. It said to do the christening. I assumed.
Yeah, part of christening's putting a name on it.
What do you want to call it?
Distraction.
Let's table that one.
I don't hate it.
Devouring.
No.
Doom.
We're not. Devouring is, yeah, no, we're good on that.
I got nothing.
Oh, now everybody's looking at me. Oh, shit.
was
I
actually-
don't suppose we could go with the ball eater. Oh,
David, if you
shit.
said going Mary, I'm going to kill your character.
The
Dark of night.
Just like holding up, just like shaking, so ready to smash this thing.
Aldrin's Ferry.
no.
Who's fairy?
Ultron. Our dead
I don't hate it.
companion.
I remember who Folgren was. It's been like 3 days, man. I'm okay with it.
Aldrin's hammer?
I like that.
Go ahead, Zar.
Okay.
Go for it, Czar.
Give me a strength check.
Just strength check.
Yep, just your strike.
Come on, roll. 11.
11 does it. The DC was 10.
Nice.
More like a
Uh,
tink crash.
Yeah. Smashes the bottle against, and then emblazoned on the side of the ship, as the champagne crashes against it, actually pools, and a small amount of smoke begins to raise up in the air as Fuldrin's hammer is emblazoned upon the side.
Let's just hope we never
Oh, yeah.
need to change the name, huh?
Don't know where we're gonna get another bottle of wine like that.
I'm gonna take the last glass pieces and drop them in my bag.
We're gonna do these for later.
The naming function on the ship is an illusion. It can be changed at any time here in the main cabin. Just echoing from the onboard speakers.
It's going to be either really helpful or really obnoxious, and I'll put my hand on the crystal.
And I'll lift Zara up and climb up the ladder myself.
Okay. As the last of you are on board with your hand on the crystal, you can essentially set an autopilot if you'd like, or you can take mental control over the ship directly. Around.
Ooh.
If anyone attunes to the ship, there are additional features you'll have access to, but it does not require attunement to fully utilize the ship.
You would make me attuned to it.
How do you technically attune?
Like
Magically familiarize
rules
yourself.
wise or in world?
In world, like, what is that process? What?
So when you sit down with an item that requires like attunement, often it will have some sort of inscription or crystal or like an arcane focus type of thing. And attunement is actually a matter of like pushing a little bit of your own mana or energy into it and creating like a link, not to your soul, because it's not like breaking attunement hurts you, but creating just an actual like connection to your deeper self and connecting the weapon or item to you.
That's your arcana to its.
Yeah.
Like that scene in Avatar where they connect the tips. I'm just kidding.
Stuff like that.
It's so weird that the same thing they use to control their horses, they use to have sex with each other.
Right.
Like, can you imagine if that's how you had to start your car?
Brings a whole new meaning to stick shift.
Yeah, that's whole new meaning to stick shift.
Yeah.
So, changing gears, I'd like to set an autopilot.
Okay. Where to?
Are we going all the way in, or there's no problem going directly to Wraith and Care, right? I'm not gonna get shot out of the sky as soon as we get to Felden-Waeth.
Maybe we make a stop in Waste in something.
Waste and Hell?
Waste and Hell. Just to maybe talk over with them on maybe rules and regulations of flying into a bordering country.
Worst case scenario, we can just fly over sea and then come in offshore. They'll never know.
We can roll this into like information you got from Francis if you'd like. That way we don't have to like go through that. Flying in yourself where you're not like a member of any of the surrounding kingdoms, you can essentially be treated as an independent vessel. You'll be like subject to being searched if you go like when you go into cities, like if you were to stop at Wraith and Care. But it's one of those like they're not just gonna shoot you down for being in their airspace.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
Set us on a course for Wraith and Kale, please.
Calculating. Ding ding ding. Ding ding ding. Ding ding ding. For speed, would you like to prioritize comfort or speed?
Speed.
And you are all immediately like pushed back as the ship just begins to accelerate at a ridiculous pace. It can travel at double speed pretty much indefinitely. And you can get there what would normally be a 2.5 week trip at a like normal pace. Almost probably 4 or 5 weeks on foot. You can cut down to about 1.5 weeks to Wraith and Care. If you want to just gun it, you will have to slow down like to sleep, because otherwise, like when you get in your hammock, you'll be pulled towards the back just so the G forces alone will like pull you sideways. But for 16,000 gold, this baby can move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relton will climb or claw or push his way towards the front of the ship against the G-forces and sit on the edge of the railing. I imagine at like a 45-degree angle forward because of how fast we're going. But you'll just like sit one leg hanging over and one leg like up on the railing, just enjoying the shit out of it.
You climb to a distance of about 1,300 feet. The
Peeking over the
atmosphere
edge.
I would like to
is
tie myself off too.
yeah. The atmosphere, even though the G-forces are impacting you, it remains easy to breathe. The temperature remains somewhat moderate. There is climate control on your ship when traveling at altitude, but clouds are whipping past you.
Wow, they thought of everything on this ship.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get up and just lean on a wall that is like pushing me into the wall and just kind of relax on that.
Yeah, I suppose over the next week and a half, I just need to know if there are any key moments you guys would like to address, and that can be on times when you've slowed down the ship for the evening or just to take a break.
Well, unless somebody's done something about it, which I don't think anybody can, Kaya is sick this whole fucking ride.
Let me just double check. I think I can help you there.
Hey, if you're gonna hork off the back of the ship so it doesn't splash down the side, will you?
He looks back up with just puke all over his face. What?
Back there. Ah, god damn it.
Lesser restoration fixes that, right?
Yeah, that would help for sure.
Okay. So I'll cast it the first day. And then I think I have to roll some stuff, so.
Okay.
Yeah, each day I will potentially cast it to help him out.
Okay. I'll say there is a very precarious moment where David, you were like, or Kai, you were like leaning over the end of the ship, back of the ship. Still not feeling great. Much better since last restoration's been being caught, but you kind of like relax. You're being pressed against it, but you're holding yourself up, and you begin to dance, and you do a little jump, and your life flashes before your eyes until a Relton's mid just catches you by the back, like the scruff of your shirt, and pulls you back on and holds you as you finish your little jig.
Maybe it's time to get those socks off, huh?
This is your fucking fault.
Yeah, I made good. You're not dead yet. And we already tried to take the socks off, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
I guess I don't know. I don't know if Alder would know if Greater Restoration would help that, or if it's. I don't know if it would. Like I've got those two things, but
I don't
You got
believe
5
that Greater
days, you could try it.
Restoration- Let me.
Want me to try pulling them off again? I'm feeling pretty fresh today.
I mean, you could try. I just don't rip off my skin.
Cool. So if the muscle comes with it, that's fine, right?
No. Skin stays attached to skin.
Alder, do you try to cast Greater Restoration?
I would try to. I was gonna roll an Arcana and see if I can figure out what would help this. And I rolled a.
You guys are advanced enough in this. Greater Restoration can remove the attunement to cursed magical item.
Okay, then yes, I will cast that for him. After
They
that
know the
event
spell,
happened,
so.
it's no longer funny. So
Yeah. Yeah, you're able to take the socks off.
Well,
You
that
have to
was
admit it was funny while they were on, though. Specifically, the first 2
so
days.
hilarious. I was
Just hysterical.
completely exhausted from being tormented for
Yeah.
what felt like weeks on end.
But you gave
where-
everybody else a good laugh. That's the important part.
Yeah, and I'm so glad I could be helpful for everyone else.
Do you need
So
some
glad.
boots now?
No, my boots are just fine. It was just the socks.
you're
Okay.
You're telling me
Yeah,
that
so-
you're not going to try to put these on someone else?
I didn't say that.
Okay, so it was fun.
No. No, it fucking wasn't.
Tell you, it's a lot more fun from the outside.
I would assume.
So, are you gonna hang on to those, or can?
You're not getting these back.
Yeah, I thought so.
I will walk away, and as I walk away, I'll be like, just remember, I took them off for you.
Preparing for descent.
After about a week.
And the ship
every
just dives.
I-
Yeah, what's
last thing just before that, Wizard is going to spend every night in Kaya's room, sleeping underneath his bed or hammock or whatever, to be Dream Guardian.
No objections.
And at some point during our trip, you'll have noticed that O'Relton has taken his gloves and put settings into each of the knuckles and one below each of the knuckles, and then sewn in several of the teeth that were whose mouth were they in? Were they in Bauer's mouth?
I
Teeth
believe
that came
so,
out of my
yes.
mouth, yeah.
Yeah. And he's just
And the
sewn in
fucking
teeth to each of these
teeth fairy.
settings on both of the sets of gloves.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry. Related. We're gonna roll back to 2 or 3 days before the end. You begin to descend. Wizard. Most of your suckling pig is gone. The pieces that remain have torn bite marks.
I'm going to go up to every person on the ship and I'm going to try and open their mouth. So I'm going to go up to Kaya first. Be like,
Come here.
What?
Down here, now.
All right. Mrs. R.
The teeth don't align. They don't match up with the bites.
What the hell are you doing, Czar?
You're safe.
then I'll
What
go to
is it?
Alder.
Come here.
Okay, what?
They don't
What?
match up with Alder's teeth either.
What is that about?
You're fine.
Yeah, why are you in my mouth?
I'm just going to walk away.
Nair
and
sex
no
tape.
answer.
Boom.
What? Alright, and then gonna head on up. Gonna
Come down here.
Why? You look pissed off. What happened?
I am the wizard. You're supposed to pay attention to me. Now, peon.
Ask nicely.
Nicely.
What do you want, Czar? And I lean down to him.
Give me a
And I try
strength
and-
check on this one.
I will willingly open.
Okay. That's,
okay.
the closest, but his teeth don't match up with the bites.
And then I'm gonna grab his hand and see if those teeth look the same.
Nothing aligns.
I'd like to keep all of these teeth if you don't mind.
Somebody ate my pig.
You had a pig?
I'm gonna open up my bag and I'm gonna start pulling out the chunks of
Shred-
mildly
just
rotting pork.
That looks like it could have been.
shredded pork meat.
Looks like it could have been good at one point in time. I'll take a piece from them, and I will inspect the teeth marks.
Okay.
Do I know what could have made them?
Give me a nature or arcana check.
I'm not good at either of those.
2? No idea. Something sharp.
Yeah, you should probably eat the whole thing next time, though. I'll hand it back to him.
I can still eat these bits, but that was half a pig.
sure you're very full.
And then I will go to the ship. I'm gonna put my hand on the crystal and go,
What ate my meat?
Other than the four of you, no presence has been detected on board this vessel.
I'm gonna toss it behind me and the piece of the meat behind me and just stalk off. Somebody gets hit in the face with a rancid pork chop.
We now fast forward to the point where beginning descent and the ship just dives almost straight down through the clouds, and what begins to grow and expand in front of you is a tremendous desert. And then ocean. Bright blue water. And it is approaching fast until the ship begins to kind of level out and approach what springs into a large harbor city. Wraithen Care. As the
Oh, what a
buildings
ride from hell.
materialize, there are red clay and white marble buildings. As the detail becomes more apparent, they are opposed to the squat and solid structures of dwarven work. This is clearly elven artistry and architecture. Fine marble spires with, the stucco red clay that forms intricate designs, windows with wrought iron. All these details becoming more and more apparent as the city rushes towards you, till the ship begins to slow and level out until it's about 20 feet off the ground and approaching the massive gates.
Oh, maybe we slow down faster next time.
Yeah, I'm
No,
thinking
no.
like 80% speed next time.
I'm thinking we come in much slower next time, not slow down faster. Slow down sooner.
Good
Noted.
point.
Adjustments will be made on future autopilot endeavors.
And I'll cast Lesser Restoration on Kaya.
Thanks.
All right, so we're almost here. What's the next plan?
Well, there's a reason we're here. And I don't remember what it is.
You say, remind me, weren't we actually eventually going to Tarren Quel?
Wraithen Care was just the nearest city across the ocean expanse.
That's right, because it's on an uninhabited, closed off island.
Yeah, nobody has been there. In living memory, only one person has gone there and returned. So
Maybe this is our stock up. Get anything we need, anything we think it's gonna help us out there, and we book it over the ocean.
As much information as we can get.
Yeah, information, supplies, what have you.
That's good.
You approach the
Maybe-
gates,
Oh.
and the guards draw into view, but they are two elves, tall men. They each have a sword at their hip and wear a bright golden and green cloak. And they have like the tall, like Gondorian style helmets with a big plume off the top. Bows are across their shoulders, with long fletched arrows coming off one side. These are huge, like great bows that they would fire from the walls. And one of them steps forward. Does anybody speak Elvish?
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. Alder, you're the only one that hears hey, travelers, what brings you to the Wraithen Care?
Just stopping for supplies.
Oh, we must inspect your vessel before you enter the city. Is this approved?
Yeah. Please come along.
He gestures, and the two guards, the rope ladder like lowers automatically. They climb on, and just a cursory inspection of the vehicle. Just stopping for supplies. Where do you travel from, and where to from here?
We're coming from Palingrove. And I'll look to O'Relton. Where are we headed to?
Tarren Quel? We can
With-
mention that, right?
They look. Interesting that you stop for supplies before going to your death.
Oh, those are just rumors, right?
Is that still in Elvish?
It's still in Elvish. He just recognized the term Tarren Quel. And although you think he may have just understood everything you said, he speaks more than just English, or more than just Elvish English.
Do you know what they're saying, Elton?
Oh, they're saying we're going toward death.
Along for the ride. Well, tell them that's the part we're trying to avoid by getting supplies.
Yeah.
A number
That's-
of travelers have gone from our shores towards that of Tarren Quel. None have returned, save one.
Who?
Where is he at?
A Goliath warrior some years ago.
Oh.
I know not where he's gone since then. He had some mission, and he says he was sworn to secrecy of what he found on the shores of Tarren Quel. Others that have attempted to follow in his footsteps have not returned. There was one other party that came through, I believe 2 weeks ago, that made their way and have not returned.
Is he saying this still in Elvish?
Yeah, everything's still in Elvish.
That I will relay to my group. That last bit.
I know you can't understand me, but have you?
I can
Stain.
tell him. I can ask him.
Has he seen this crest? And I'm gonna give him maybe I'm not. Now that I think about this,
You
has
tell
he-
your friend that I can understand him.
He
I just
can.
refuse to speak their primitive tongue.
He can understand you. He just doesn't want to talk like you.
the matter with the way that I? Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay. It does. Have you seen? Are you? Do you know what the Knight's Eye is?
This name means nothing to me.
What about this? And I'm gonna bring out the. I have a thing. I have a thing. I have a thing.
Is it the Knight's Eye crest? The
Yes.
crest? Hey, interesting. The man in chains bore that same cloak and same crest emblazoned upon his cloak.
What do you say?
The man in chains bore that same crest upon his cloak. Who's
Man in chains.
the man in chains?
That's what we called him. He did not give us his name. He came through with a company of men. They
Was he?
chartered a ship. The ship did return, but Old Man Shadis is the only one that has done that journey before. My understanding is he does not set foot upon the sands. He brings a dinghy, takes the most of the way, and requires they row to shore from his ship.
I'll relay that.
So the man in chains, was he like imprisoned or was he just?
He bore chains on his arms.
He just
they
had
were
chains
not-
on his arms.
They seem to be voluntary. Some mark of his faith.
Elton? Sound familiar? Doesn't to me either.
Does it sound familiar to me? As I'm
They're
racking my
describing
brain?
Vaden.
Oh, is it Vaden? Oh,
They're
okay.
absolutely. So Vaden has the chains that he's borne around his wrists and arms that actually bore barbs that carved into his skin.
Yeah, we might be too late then.
Wouldn't say we're too late. I mean, he hasn't made his way back. Granted, they probably have more of these, but I mean, we could.
So, just clarifying question: the Goliath warrior that went to Tarren Quel, this is not the same person.
No, they're
They're
different
not
people.
referring to them.
Yeah,
as the
the
same
Goliath
person.
warrior is
Aiden's
the
not
only one
Goliath.
that came back
Gotcha. Okay.
ever.
And they don't know where that Goliath went, right?
No, that's he was sworn to secrecy.
Well, maybe we need to sit around for a little bit and learn a little bit from. I mean, you said the ferryman that takes him over. Maybe we can talk to him.
I mean, whatever we do, we have to probably do it quick. I mean,
Yeah,
Vaden's
we
been
need
there
to do it
for
quick.
what, a week?
Anyway,
Yeah.
you know why we're here. Are we good to come in?
Cause no trouble in the city,
Of course.
but otherwise, good luck.
Thank you.
They jump down. The gates swing wide, and you are allowed to travel through the city. You lift up a little bit to travel over the carts and people that are walking. We'll say he gave you directions. Old Man Shadis, the name he mentioned, would be at the northernmost end of the harbor. Look for the rundown ship.
How much is it to store our ship?
We'll say if like you can dock it for a day for 5 gold.
How much is long-term parking?
I mean, it'd be less. You'd be looking at like 15 gold a week.
Yeah, so we need information and supplies yesterday, and then we need to leave.
I'm not sure we want to take the airship over there, but I don't know what other choice we have to get there quickly.
I don't know if it can bring itself back and park itself.
And I worry about, you know how they have things that disrupt the guidance system?
Yeah.
I wonder if there'd be something very similar to disrupt the flying system. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'd rather be in the water than above it if and when things happen.
I'm gonna look around. Are there any trees in the area?
I mean, yeah, there's a few tall palm trees on the outside skirts of the city.
Are they bigger? Are any of them bigger than all of us?
I
I guess bigger than O'Relton because he's the biggest one.
Yeah, there's actually a number of like once you get towards the center of the city, there's a number of like manicured like elder trees, which you actually would recognize as a druid. They've been here probably as long as the city. There are 4 trees set in a square in the center of the town with a large fountain, which is where people are coming and like filling water from. People here wear like light linen clothes, things to keep the sun off of them, but also, be cooling in this, desert heat.
Okay.
But yeah, any one of these.
Well, I mean, assuming there's a tree over there, I could potentially bring us back quickly if things go south.
I was going to say, if we have the opportunity to get a teleportation rune here, I could get us back here as well.
Let's do both.
All right, well, let's go park the ship.
Okay.
And what
Yeah,
was his
so
name
the-
again?
Old Man Shadis.
Shut us.
And remind me, that was the ferryman
Mhm.
that
He's
took
the-
Vaden across, right?
He's the one person who he said is the one person who's willing to sail anywhere near Tarren Quel.
I wonder if he maybe has the time to go back to meet him
To meet who?
and bring him back this way. I doubt it where they have the teleportation crest, but
The man in chains.
Vaden,
miss-
yeah.
Vaden, yeah.
Okay, so another person you guys know.
Unfortunately.
You're very popular.
No, this one's Elton's, not mine.
I could have swore we had told you about Vaden before, but he's the other one looking for these. Ting ting.
Great. Yeah, I guess we'll go down and I'll pay 5 gold to
Okay.
park our shit.
Yeah, and at the harbor, like with the directions, you see there is what's the middle ship in Sea of
Brigantine?
Thieves? A brigantine. There's a run-down brigantine at the north end of the harbor. It has like rough spun sails that are patchwork wood that has been like recoated with pine resin hundreds of times over. There's the entire ship looks patchwork.
Guess
Continue down to it.
Yeah, walk to it.
Okay. There's
And-
a number of crewmen that are kind of moving about, tying off ropes and just doing maintenance on the ship. But as you approach, there is an old human man with leather tanned skin who turns. Ah, customers! Seek you
Hopefully.
to travel upon the soul of Shadis. He gestures at his ship. My pride
That's a
and
cool
joy.
name. That's a cool name. I look at everybody else. The soul of Shadis.
Man.
Anyway, yeah, we're actually looking to ask you some questions first.
Oh, answers I will try to provide, potentially for a cost, of course. Nothing is free. Nothing's free. Especially
One of
these
these, okay.
damned elves about. Look, and he's like the only human you can see. Like everyone else here is an elf.
We recently heard word that you took somebody over near Tarren Quel.
Yeah, once every few years, somebody comes by seeking to try their hand at the curse. This one's no different. No different. I dropped him off. Made him
Are you
swim.
willing to go twice in a year?
Of course, it's not free. It's dangerous. The cursed sea of Tarren Quel. Soul of Shadows can handle it.
How much?
Yeah, 10 gold a person.
4 gold a
15
person.
gold a person. What do you
4
say?
gold a person.
That seems unfair. I'm risking my ship, my life. You're a dead man. You can't take it with you.
Exactly.
From what I understand, you're not, you're staying back and then letting us go off. You're not taking that much risk.
Right.
Tell you
right.
what,
But like I
15
said, dead men don't need gold.
15 gold to the shore. If we have to take a rowboat in, 10 gold a person.
10 gold a person.
4.
10 gold a
4
person.
gold.
10 gold a person deal. 4 of you? There's no way in hell I'm going to the shore.
Here's your
4
12
gold.
gold.
Fine.
I had a long life. Want to keep it going. I've got this figured out.
What is the story of the curse, anyway? We're obviously not from around here.
Oh, the curse seas. Those who approach the shores of Tarren Quel disappear. Lost in the wasting sea. The cursed stones of the living city consume all who step foot on it.
A living city, huh?
So the rumors say. It's a city that breathes. The stones shift beneath the feet of those who live there.
Spooky. I like it. So this last gentleman you took over, does he have plans for a return trip?
I don't make return trips with dead men. It's a one-way trip. I get you within sight of the island of Tarren Quel. The rest is up to you.
Good to know. Good to know.
He didn't question me on 10 gold per head. He glares at Kai.
A little bit easier when it's just one head. It was just one head, right?
Oh, he traveled with 6 others traveled with him.
Okay. So no return trip. 10 gold ahead. and we got to paddle our own way in.
I'll give you the rowboat.
I'm sorry. There's something that's just not making sense to me. If you're not making return trips, isn't that why everybody's not coming back?
I mean,
It's a good point. You
The
ever
first
think
few
everybody's
I
just
offered-
starving out there?
the first few I offered to stay. You can make the trip back in a dinghy. If you're worried about starving, bring food. It's not Jadis's fault.
All right.
Well, I'm here
You can
for it.
row from here.
What if we asked you to come back in 3 days?
I wouldn't. For anything less than 50 gold a person.
What if we offered an airship on our? If we don't return, be an airship.
And what? If you don't return, who's going to stop me from taking the airship anyway? Where's your airship?
People
Is
at the
that
port.
one?
We don't have an airship. This is a what if scenario, Bauer.
He's not going to take it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's because we don't have it.
It's in the port, and I doubt that the port guards would just let you take it. They're going to keep it for their own means. What happens to everybody else's ship that comes through?
I mean, most people don't travel by ship. That's usually they hire me because they don't have a ship.
Yes, that's true.
If you have an airship, you could just take the airship. If you want to land on the shore, again, when you're dead, it doesn't matter.
We're about helping the local community.
This man tried to
We
talk
should-
me down from 10 gold ahead to 4.
Well, we're
Not
not. We're not.
45
let's
seconds
let's
ago.
just talk him back to 0, and we'll just take our own ship there.
Well, we appreciate all the info.
Oh, you're welcome. Hold out his hand. No, he still has the 12 gold that Kai handed him. Right, of course. Don't need anything from Shadis. Ting, ting, ting. Gold drops into his pouch.
We may return.
Pleasure doing business with you. Yeah.
Okay, it was a pleasure.
I
Goodbye.
think we just
As we're walking back to our ship, I'm gonna kind of like tug on Alder's side.
Do you know how to read?
Yes.
I'm gonna pull out a chunk of my meat.
I need to find the library to read what ate my meat.
Is that why you opened my mouth earlier, a few days
Yes.
ago?
Yes.
You know, you could just ask next time. I don't eat meat.
Oh, they're making
Can you
nature
help me
check.
find what ate my meat?
That would be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Looking at it, it has gotten a few more days on it since this happened. The teeth marks are not that of a beast. They look like human teeth, but far too wide, as though the mouth had been stretched.
That's not terrifying. Sorry. Yeah, that's quite the mess. I can definitely look and see what we can find.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, and I'll just ruffle the little tuft on their head.
Well,
If we have no other plans for the day, I will spend it going bar to bar, talking to barkeepers about what is on Tarren Quel, rumors, legends, if there is any sort of magical field that would prevent somebody from flying an airship into it. Obviously snuck in casually into the conversation.
yeah, there's lots of stories that you kind of hear some of the same beats. You know, the living city, the wasting sea, the cursed sea, the curse of Tarren Quel. As far as like things that prevent people from flying, or is it like nobody knows? Just like some of them offer like wild and varied stories about ship, like if you try to fly, you'll just explode, or that anybody who's tried to fly or sail has just disappeared from the horizon. People have watched from like crow's nests with eyeglass, and they just vanish. There's no common thread on what actually happens when people approach the shore of Tarren Quel. And there's and again, the only person that's returned, most of the people are elves, and so a lot of them like give you descriptions of the Goliath that returned. How he was sworn to secrecy, that he bore an Albarindian banner, had the air of a general, that he came on a quest that he could not speak of and left sworn to see the secrets of Tarren Quel. And that story comes up a lot, and it's consistent, but yeah, because nobody's returned, nobody knows what actually happens.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look for like a local druid faction, if there's one in the area, to kind of talk to about the trees.
Yeah, there is actually an enclave in that center, like near the fountain, and it's the Circle of the Oasis, is what they call themselves. And they are actually a lot of people that you see maintaining the trees and the water and keeping everything like moving. They're actually quite central to the Wraith and Care.
I'll just essentially ask them, one, if they've ever had anybody attempt to go to Tarren Quel and possibly transport back through the trees.
Similar, they have had a number of individuals who volunteered to, they're like, yeah, we'll tree stride back, we'll make our way, we'll shape shift and swim back and whatever it is, but nobody has successfully returned.
And then I'll just ask for permission to use this tree as a path back.
A brother of the circle is always welcome, as long as you bear no ill towards us.
No, not at all. I just, I hope we can solve some of these mysteries.
Your name would go on the legends if you were to solve what happens across the sea.
Well,
long as it darkened our sea, our shore.
I hope to see you again, and thank you for all the information.
Good luck, traveler. Do you find a library to try to do some research with the help of Alder?
Yeah, if Alder will go with me.
This is something that I should point out. Orelton, speaking in common, you actually had some trouble getting through to the bartender, having to find somebody that was willing to translate the common tongue. What you found is most of the elves here understand and can speak the common tongue. Most of them just choose not to, or outright refuse to speak in anything other than Elvish.
If that's the case, I will try and get some of them to write it.
Yeah.
As a method of communicating back with me.
And they give you a nice Elvish script that'll have a lot of this information that you can have Alder translate for you.
Okay.
So, you get the same amount of information. I just wanted to include that bet.
Okay.
Then, Wizard, if you can get Alder to take you to the library, you can each make an investigation check. Yours will be at disadvantage because you can't read any of the
looking for
books.
pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14, and I'm specifically looking for mythical creatures with human teeth.
Okay.
I rolled a nat 20 and then an 18, so 17.
Okay. Because of the different DCs, because you are just looking for pictures, you find a couple different bestiaries and stuff. but one of the books that Wizard happens to slide towards you, Alder. You kind of begin flipping through, and it is like children's stories. And there's one that the picture is of a grotesque, gray-skinned, stretched man who's said to live between the planes in an extra-dimensional space that uncaring travelers with bags of holding have been known to be dragged into the bag and consumed by the bagman.
Yeah, that's a scary story, and I'll set that one off to the side.
I imagine you reading it to her and
Yeah.
flipping through the pages,
Yeah.
showing the pictures, and the pictures are grotesque. Something crawling out of the opening of a bag that seems much too small to fit him, and grabbing onto sleeping children and travelers and pulling them back into the bag.
We have to go after it.
Nope. It's we don't go into it. But maybe we stop putting our food in there. Our rotten, your delicious food in there.
But where do I keep it?
You know, we've been buying food that we can eat every day, and you don't have to. You know what? We'll find a spot.
Okay. Well, what do I do about him now? He's in there.
I'm gonna open the bag and stick my head in.
You see your stuff.
Tie it nice and tight.
After you take their head out?
No, I'm telling her. I'm telling Wizard
What
to
a
tie
way
it
to
nice
kill
and
a
tight.
party member. It's just tie their bag of holding around their neck.
No, I'm telling Wizard to tie it nice and tight.
God, sorry, the idea, because there's not air in a bag of holding, so the idea of just pulling it down around Zara's waist and pulling it tight is a
Isn't there, like, 4
horrifying
minutes?
idea. Yeah, there's like
Isn't
4
there, like-
minutes, but
Okay.
we'll tie a bag over your head and give you 4 minutes to untie it with your feet. New nightmare unlocked. That's worse than the bag man. Yeah, you cinch the bag tight, Alder, and tie it off.
You're not getting out. They've got you trapped now.
Almighty Tsar. You know, they might need your help back gathering supplies if you want to go. I'll keep reading.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna head out in a general direction.
Okay, Alder, what are you
See
doing?
if I run into anybody.
I'm just gonna look for more information on the bagman and.
Okay,
just-
yeah. With that, with your previous role, you talking to the librarian. She's a little like, all right, and brings you some like old children's book. We're talking like original Grimm fairy tale, like German folk stories that are just horrifying, like and you know, first-hand recounts of adventurers who woke up to find one of their party members missing, with their bag just open on the ground and like claw marks of somebody being pulled in, look like somebody being pulled into it, of, you know, a bag of holding being donated to at some sort of like church auction, and the next night a bunch of people that were living in the church having gone missing. Just a bunch of stories like this, just like awful, you know, boogeyman-esque tales
Gotcha.
of this creature that lives in a space and can access bags of holding.
Perfect. And then I'll head back and hope that Zara went to the right place.
Probably, right?
I
Tell
don't
them-
know. Let me roll a d20.
Like
Got
I
like
hear,
a 1 in 4 chance.
I
4
think-
directions to
I
go.
think it's one of those like you have to take a goblin at least a mile away from home, otherwise they'll be able to find their way back. Or is
Oh
that
yeah,
what
okay,
it's-
yeah. I go back to. I'll end up going back to the ship.
Yeah.
I know where that's at.
Okay.
And then I'm going to systematically pull all the items out of my bag and go through all of them.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing seems really out of the ordinary. That's a
I
The-
find
the-
things I've never seen before.
that's just good. You go through it all, make the pile, and just shove it back in the bag as chaotically as we need to for the rules we've established. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to say any more than that.
I just like the idea of Zar pulling everything out and placing it nice and organized. I think going, it's all here.
What? Anybody else? Is anybody else doing anything before we
So
get back to the ship?
Kaya's going to go through and he's going to try to find where he can get the teleportation runes to Wraith and Care.
Okay. I'm just going to say you will be able to find them. I cannot remember how much they just like the last time we were on this side of things. So we need to we will later figure out how much it costs. Do you have at least 2,000 gold left over?
I think it was 500 for.
Okay, I was gonna say it won't be more than 2,000. We'd say
Yeah,
we'll just say 500. You guys have so much fucking gold. You paid 1,600. We're balancing things out.
I'm pretty
We
sure
might
it
be
was
500.
500. Okay.
We'll say 700. It has
Oh,
a different
well.
value here.
What value?
You get upcharged because
Um,
they charge you a translator fee because you don't speak Elvish.
I'm gonna try to negotiate.
Okay, give me
In a different language.
persuasion check at disadvantage.
At disadvantage? All right.
No.
There's fuck. That looks so good. Wow, those are both shit. All right, well 12.
12, 700.
Fine. Fuck. Do I take? All right, fine. I'll buy it.
Okay.
Before I go back to the ship,
Uh,
having sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say I think that's it on my side. So
Oh well.
Before I go back to the ship, having acquired the information that I have acquired, and really racking my 9 intelligence for what I might need at a living city, I'm going to go buy a climber's kit and some other adventuring gear that I think will probably keep me alive over there.
Okay. That's you've got our price list, so go for it.
Sweet.
Anything else?
actually, did they? No, I'm at it again. Did they have any other teleportation circles for anywhere else?
Yeah, you could probably get one to let's see. Alden Rhett and the Waith Pact.
Alden Rhett and the Waith Pact? I don't know where that one is.
Yeah.
Are those 700 pieces as well?
Yeah, Alden Rhett would be 500. Waith Pact would also be 700.
So 1,200
Uh,
more. Yeah,
and you
they're
learn
almost
that
identical.
Shades Harbor does not have a teleportation circle,
Shades Harbor does not have a teleportation circle.
like whatsoever.
You at some point will have to message me those so I can add those to my inventory, but I bought
What?
them.
Perfect.
Because my map must be different from your map because I don't see those.
Well, there's a couple different maps. So if you're looking at the one that has like Palingrove and Western Hell and Alden Rhett and Wraith and Care, if you go to the map after it, it has the 3 islands
Gotcha. Okay.
that are east of Wraith and Care.
Got it.
Mike, you muted.
And that spooky, ominous dark island that has no name.
Oh yeah.
Just like, yeah, I totally know what's on that.
Anything else?
So we all gathered back on the ship.
Yeah, you've all gotten back in the ship.
So I was racking my brain, trying to maybe see what we're going to be up against aside from Vaden himself, but we assume there's probably a shard here, right? That's almost a given.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's fair.
And we know where two of them are at the very least. And so there could be three possibly on this island. And if nobody's coming back, I'm guessing it's either devouring or destruction. But they were talking about the living city. So I'm wondering if folks aren't getting ate when they go over there.
Well, the old man did say people would be consumed by the curse. I don't know if that's just lucky wording, but
Anyway, I guess I'm just spitballing. It's hard to know what's going to keep you alive over there if you don't know what's killing people over there.
and you said that this guy Vaden is also looking for these shards, right? So should we hide the ones we have and not take them with us? Just
Well,
in case?
One of them's kind of hard not to take with me at the moment. And the other one, I hold in my hands. If you can find it,
Right.
I'll leave it here.
Okay, so don't die, otherwise the world may end.
It
guess
survived
it's-
long enough with these shards being spread around. As long as they're not in the wrong hands, I'm sure we'll do fine.
Okay.
Well, now the question to ask is, do we take our ship? Or do we go with the old man?
My vote's take the ship in. A, it's quicker. B, we paid for it. C, it's a third way out if we can get in.
It's fair. Well, yeah, I guess other than that, then we have to roll back if we don't. So I'd rather not do that.
And, Bauer, I know you were talking about wanting to be in the water rather than the air, but if we fly in low enough, low and slow, we're basically in the water at that point. 20
Settings
foot fall,
adjusted
maybe.
to low and slow.
Is there a way I can just turn your ears off for a bit?
Muting.
Wow. It's intuitive.
You're muted, wizard.
Oh, wow, it's really muted. I meant just mute the ship, not my party member.
Silence is cast on the ship. Can you turn your ears off? Silence is cast.
If it's not listening, how does it know when to turn back on?
Probably touch the crystal.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, will we go now or go in the morning?
I will look up at the sky to see how much time we got left in the day, because I don't want to be there at night.
We'll say it's probably mid-evening. It'll take you a couple days flight to travel all the way to the island based on the
Right.
maps you've seen. Which the different you've seen, if you look at a few different versions of the map, the island seems to like move. Like nobody is exactly sure how big or exactly where it is.
But it's out there.
Yeah, but it's all kind of in the same general direction.
Say, let's go now.
All right.
There is. Oh, sorry. Do you just say go now? The
That's
ship
my
doesn't.
opinion. Yep.
Yeah, the ship doesn't respond.
Oh, right. Hand on crystal. You can unmute now.
Unmuted. Set destination.
Destination Tarren Quel.
Tarren Quel not found. Please try again.
Destination East.
Traveling east. Maintain setting is low and slow.
Let's do like half and half for now, shall we?
Half and half.
Yeah.
And it thrums to life and begins to move. Not quite as high, but still a good distance off of the surface of the water as you begin to travel. Over the next 3 days, anything you'd like to accomplish, we can sort out, like, standard downtime. There's one major event that happens, which is Kai. One of the nights that you're sleeping, you wake up hearing just a scratching noise coming from the ground beneath you. Not directly, not where Zara has been sleeping, or where Wizard's been sleeping, but off in the corner where they set their bag. And you look over, and where the bag has been tied tight, you just see one, like, 12-inch long, thin gray finger having poked out of the top of the bag and is prodding around, trying to catch, like, one of the strings that is holding the bag shut.
Quick side point. I would have brought this up, but I'm sure they would have thought I was fucking insane. So we'll just play it that way. You guys thought I was crazy for bringing it up, but
And I'm sure Czar would have said something too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Oh, fuck that. Fireball. Fireball now.
Fireball?
Kill it with fire.
Ball.
it's like the spider.
Okay. Fireball.
No. Disintegrate.
I just want you to.
I
Your
don't know if
point
that's better.
is just a finger, so this is going to be difficult. I would say disintegrate is more likely to catch the bag.
It has to dodge. I don't have to hit.
Okay. Actually,
No, I'm kidding. I'm fully kidding. I don't want to disintegrate.
it just it's just a hole through the ship.
The ship just starts disintegrating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
As
really
you
have
look,
anything
as
great
you
for
look
this.
at it, the finger stops moving, and then just pulls back into the bag. Hey, just out of curiosity, who else has a bag of holding? Just show of hands.
Oh, that's a great question, actually.
Okay. But the finger.
Not
the
on
hand is
this
gone.
character.
Yeah, that's the fucking thing that's terrifying me now. This is a dual campaign in the same world.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna walk over to the bag. I'm gonna grab the string and I'm gonna pull it as tight as I fucking can.
Okay, just totally tie that. That's there's a moment you pull it tight and something like presses against the inside of the bag, like you see the imprint of just like this long face like press against the leather and then pull back.
Things of fucking nightmares. I'm just gonna pretend I casted animate objects on it, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Animating, sorry, the idea of animating a bag of holding to keep itself closed is kind of incredible.
Hold your fucking self together.
It just grows two little hands and is just like, doot.
Hold yourself
That's
together.
adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
Actually, what I'm gonna do.
Just kidding.
Ooh.
I do have one. I scrolled down further, and I do actually have one.
Well,
Okay.
he's gonna initially. Before he ties it, he's gonna take it and put it down on the ground, and he's gonna think about it for a second, and then he's gonna tie it and think about it some more. And he's looking at his immovable rod. If I put the immovable rod on a moving ship, does it stay where it's at? Or does it just stay on the ship where it's at?
Relative motion.
Is it relative motion? Or is it
I
placed
mean,
in time and we just rip a hole in the
There
ship?
is an existing ruling on this.
There is.
because the Earth rotates.
But I'm not going to tell you what that is.
Well, of course you're not.
Yeah. The real Earth rotates. My world might be a big, flat, stationary world that the sun and moon rotate around.
We're just
Don't try to give me science.
just a disc.
Don't assume.
Just a disc floating. There's an end of the world. You might fall off. He's gonna put it back in his bag. I don't think I want to find out. Let's. AV,
Yes.
if I were to immovable rod on this bag, would it fuck up the ship?
Calculating. Odds are that would tear a hole straight through the ship. There's also not like isolated sound on this, so this echoes through every one of your rooms. Is just that would tear a hole through the ship.
Oh, Relton gets out of bed.
Alder also gets out of it.
Zar wakes up.
Power.
Next time AV, quiet mode.
Door
Power.
crashes open.
Quiet mode.
What are you
next
doing with
time,
my
AV.
bag?
Got in your bag, there was a finger coming out of it. It was playing peekaboo with me. I tied it shut, and I was about to put
It's
a
the gray man.
I told
Yeah.
you. I told you about this.
Yeah, you did, and I didn't believe you. And now I'm second guessing myself because the shit before I talked to AV here, it was like face, hands against the bag. I didn't like it.
I took everything out, and he wasn't in there.
There was momentarily one additional presence detected on the ship.
Don't like that.
Alder's going to sprint back to his room and super tie his bag shut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, Relton's smart enough to piece that together.
But anyway, the hole through the ship thing, I've got the immovable rod here. I was going to place it on the bag to make sure it couldn't get out. But then I came to terms with it and realized that maybe that's not the best idea because we're moving on a ship and the immovable rod doesn't move. Anyway, good night. I think.
That's where we're leaving this? Not how do we figure out the big creepy gray finger coming out of the bag?
That's something for tomorrow. I'm tired. I've been torn apart in my dreams. This doesn't bother me as much. This is real.
Alder comes back. Okay, so how are we handling this?
Going to sleep. Good night.
It just rolls over.
Hold on.
Look.
I think I might have something in my bag that can hold my bag shut.
And I go to reach and open the bag.
Slap.
No.
Or
Big creepy guy was just in your bag 2 minutes
he's
ago.
gone now.
You don't know that?
Okay, fine.
The next 2 days go by uneventfully
Great.
until
What you want to hear?
in midday, Orelton, you're standing on the prow of the ship, watching some of the low-hanging clouds. You're not crazy high off of the water, whipping by, and you break through just one, and you see a massive island on the horizon.
That's got to be our guy right there.
And you actually see, kind of towards the center of the island, one large tower and distant buildings kind of scattered around it.
What do we think? Take a quick look-see from the air? Or do we just land on a shore and hoof it?
Well, I'd love to take a look through the air, but I worry about, like I said before, it having some anti-magic something or other and us just crashing from the sky. I could... Yeah.
Also, I mean, if we take a look around, we know what's around, but we may lose the element of surprise. But if we just go to shore, we don't know what's out there, but we still have potentially the element of surprise.
So everyone's blind.
Does this thing have stealth mode?
As long as people don't look up, we are nearly undetectable.
So no. I think I'm with you.
Yeah,
Low
I
and
spend
slow.
most of my day looking up.
Low and slow, and everyone's
Slow
blind.
people problems.
Everyone's blind. I think that's better. Not much better, but better.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Also, as a point, at the next day after the whole fucking bag thing, Alder would have asked the ship to alert anytime, or update number of people on ship anytime a new person or a new presence is sensed on the ship.
Basic security
Exactly.
protocols engaged.
So there we go.
Smart.
The ship begins to lower. You're at about 700 feet, and it begins to drop. 600, 500, 400.
Oh, Relton, this thing doesn't know.
Not the only one who can pilot the ship. Not the only one who can pilot the ship.
Anomaly. And as they shimmer, as you just dip below a certain point, and looking down, there's no sea. There is no city in the distance. There is a seemingly endless desert. On the ground beneath you, there are the bones of ships scattered about. Hundreds, piles of lost vessels. Visible on top of the sand, there are bones that have been picked clean. There are carrion birds and other such creatures that you can see moving about the rubble of these ships.
And when you say ships, do you mean water vessels?
Like water
Does it-
vessels. You're
Does there
not
appear to be any sky
crashing, you're
vessels?
not plummeting, but there are apparently where hundreds of ships have been deposited upon the sands.
And looking around, there's not a point where the ocean begins and this massive desert, or the
No.
ocean ends and this massive desert starts. It's just desert
is
as far as the eye can see now.
Just sand.
No tower, no buildings.
Give me a perception check.
So good at these two. 9.
9? Nothing. Anybody else that would like to make a perception check? Is
Yeah,
able to?
I was gonna say, like, if we turn and look behind us, it's just an ever expanding.
It is
desert
just
as well.
sand.
Okay. Yeah, I will roll a perception check for any sort of sight line that I can, like, anything I can see.
Okay.
That's a 19.
Okay. In the
4.
distance, you catch the glint of a mirror as it turns, and you squint, and through that heat mirage, what appears to be the top of a lighthouse is visible in the far, far distance.
I will.
The other thing
Go ahead.
you notice is amongst the bones of ships and sailors and crews, there is one small rowboat pulled to the side, unaged. And it is as you continue to drop and stop just 20 feet above the sands, we're going to call this evening's episode, as you find your way to the wasting sea of Tarren Quel. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy the last little bit of your weekend. We will see you next time on Easy Dispel.